Board games, board games, it's what I'm talking about. Board games, board games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. And today it's some introspection as I sit down in this location. I'm going to talk about this dream. I'm not saying that it's all been a dream, but it's been fun and lots of good times singing here with all the rhymes. And hopefully you've had fun too, but I really want to hear some feedback from you about this streaming, it's what it's all about. Streaming, I'm not gonna shout. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I am, a couple of minutes late. Hello to me, thank you so much for being here to join me. It really means a lot. Today is episode 354 of Bezzy Beats and Board Game Blether. And tomorrow I am reviewing this stream. There's going to be a bit of introspection. There's going to be a bit of pondering. There's, like, what am I enjoying? I might also do a couple of unboxings. I got some packages while I was away. So, although I don't have the top-down camera set up yet, so maybe I should really get the top-down camera set up first. So, maybe I'll... But then if I don't do it today, when will I do it? What do you think? Should I do the unboxings or not? What I'm going to think about is, why did I start streaming? Why am I still streaming? What am I enjoying? What am I not enjoying? What do I want to change? But I really want to hear, what are you enjoying and what would you like to see more of? Would you like to hear my thoughts on more video games that I occasionally play? Would you like to hear more thoughts on board games? Would you like to have more play-alongs where I play things and then you jump in and play along with them? Let me know. It means a lot. For now, let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. So, yesterday was my first full day back here in London, where I am normally based. I started off by maybe playing a wee bit of a game that you might know as Super Puzzle Platformer Deluxe. I have managed to... I played it a ridiculous amount yesterday. I'm up to like 9 hours, something like that. And until my right hand started being sore and my left hand was, a bit crampy. And I was like, ooh, this is not good. This is not good at all. But it's such an arresting game. So for those who don't know, Super Puzzle Platformer Deluxe is a game where very reminiscent of... I'm almost tempted to bring it up to show you peeps now, but it's very reminiscent of old school stuff, hyper pixelated, and then you're in an 8 by something grid of blocks falling down, and then there's... but you're a little character in this pit. It's like if Tetris and columns. It's kind of reminiscent of Wario's Woods, where you're actually wandering around and you're trying to not get squashed by these blocks, because then you lose your energy, except sometimes you are. What I realized yesterday was sometimes you want to hurt yourself, because then, anyway, it's kind of got this push your luck. How big a set can you make? Because if you get greedy, then 2 blocks is worth 4, 3 blocks is worth 9, 4 is 16, and it keeps growing exponentially. So you really want to make the biggest blocks you possibly can until you're scoring like 1,000 points in one clearing. But then as you get greedier and greedier, it takes you to the top. And if you get to the top, then it's instant death. Like if a block lands on you, rather than lose you any energy, you kind of jump up, you jump out of the screen, and it's instant death. Anyway, that was something that definitely occupied a lot of my time, and it was good fun. I decided that I was going to just not waste. I was going to squander seems wrong. I was going to spend yesterday however I wanted. I decided I am just going to play video games all day today. And you know what? I darn well enjoyed it. What else did I do? I was sitting outside in the garden for a few hours of that, maybe for 4 hours. I had a stream, obviously, with Yoda, and we chatted about Kickstarters and stuff. That seemed to go well. What outside in the garden with Chris and Mina coming along, it was lovely. It was sunshine. Birds were singing. Good times. Speaking of which, I might even might see how long this lasts before I need to plug it in. But yeah, it was that is basically my entire day. Oh yeah, I did cook. I did have a very unhealthy breakfast. My breakfast was basically chocolate and sugary chocolates at that. It wasn't 100% cocoa. My dinner, I'm very proud of this. It was udon noodles mixed with an egg, mixed with some one red onion and some kimchi, all mixed together. Simple. Oh, very much enjoyed it. And obviously the kimchi, it wasn't made by me, it was from a tin, but I'm very proud of how it was. That's some of my recent highlights. What have you been up to? Have you been playing more Dark Souls? Have you played any board games? Have you eaten anything tasty? Let me know in the comments. You know where the comments are, I mean, wherever you are. Or alternatively, let me know if you've got any questionably quick questions. The thing I like to ask myself is, what time is it? Where am I? It is 10:10 a.m. and I am in northern London, north of Finsbury Park, that sort of area. And so, yeah, please get in your questionably quick questions. And hello, Flo. It is lovely to see you. And I guess this must be very late or very early. I'm not sure. Are you up late or are you? And Flo's recent highlights was just getting home from the first in-person game night with a few of my friends. Lots of party games. Oh, that sounds lovely. What did you play? I am hoping to have a few people over in the garden. We're not officially allowed to have anyone inside the house, I don't think, but we're allowed to have up to 6 people, either if it's a business, which feels weird because, hey, you can have people if you're meeting at a restaurant, but you can't have people if you're meeting in your house because capitalism. But we are fortunate enough to have a garden, and we might be having maybe 4 of us outside in the garden tomorrow evening. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm still not sure what games we're going to play. Might play some prototypes. What did you play? We played Just One. Oof, that's a good game. I'm fairly sure that was one of my. I'm sure that 2 of these, Just One and Wavelength, are actually in my top 10. I have so much respect for Just One. I think it won the Spiel des Jahres. I think it won the As d'Or. I think it won one of them, like both of them. But just such a good game. So for those who don't know, you're trying to get someone to guess a word, and everyone writes words, but you write just one word, and your word can't be the same as anyone else's. It has to be, you have to have just one version. So if you are too similar to other people, but then if you try to be too different, then maybe you're being too obscure, and then the guesser doesn't guess the word. Oh, well, that's the way. And it's a lovely cooperative game. I don't know of many cooperative party games. Talking about cooperative party games, I personally feel like Wavelength for me, it works best as a cooperative game. I know that there's a team-based version. I've played the team-based version. But for me, do we think it's to the left, to the right to get to bonus points? I feel like Wavelength, for me, it's at its best with full cooperative, everyone discussing, taking turns, getting to know you. Just again, such a great game from Wolfgang Warsch and peeps who had the monikers. I think there's like 3 designers of that game. I can't remember them all. Taboo, a classic there, and Blank Slate. I've played that online. I've never gotten it, but that seems like one that I would like to pick up if I were in a position that I were actively purchasing new games rather than being in a situation where, I actually have to, yeah, a bits of background, tiny bits of background. Whilst I've been away, one of my housemates has been hard at work reorganizing the entire house, and bless them, it's been like lovely work, and it's very pretty. I just there's a few things that don't quite work for me, and hopefully we can find something that works for both of us. Anyway, the truth is that I probably need to get rid of a whole bunch of games. So if people live, especially people who live in the UK, which I know is none of the people who are currently chatting, hello Maya, lovely to see you. And I have, yeah, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed Suburbia. Great game. Ted Alspach, is it? And some people I know say that Castles of Mad King Ludwig is a better re-implementation of that. I'd be curious about your opinions of the two. And so, yeah, Wavelength has co-op, but yeah, anyway, so I'm not in the habit of buying new games right now. You might see me on Kickstarter pledging for a few games, but I think that's in the past year. Any Kickstarter that I've pledged, I think, yeah, I'm trying to think. I think I actually bought maybe 2 games on Kickstarter on the last year, but anything else that you might have seen me pledge for, if you are following me, it's basically all £1 pledges because I feel like, hey, these are friends and I want to support them. And yeah, Blank Slate, great game. It's love to have it. Hello, Games Cupboard. Hello, Kelly Lee and Bennett. It's lovely to see you. And Maya, between Suburbia and Castles of Mad King Ludwig, Maya prefers Suburbia, so there you go. What do you think? I haven't played them enough to have an opinion. I think I've actually only played Suburbia once, and I've not played Castles at all. I've seen it briefly, I've read up on it, but I don't have any opinion at all. So I'm curious to know your opinion. Now I know the opinion of 2 people, so yeah, good morning, and it's all good. It's all good. So if anyone has any questionably quick questions for me, then now is the time to get them in. I'll give you another minute. And if you get in your questionably quick questions while I'm talking about the brilliant thing, what's a little thing which is brilliant, then that is totally okay. I am going to, I do apologize for this, just one second. Just to avoid advertising this drink that I bought just before I started 1 minute late, I'm going to say that the brilliant thing is that here in my current location, there is a supermarket literally about 30 seconds away. And I'm able to just go in. Look, right now, with times of pandemic, I'm not planning to go multiple times a day. That's right off. But if I'm in the morning and I'm like, oh, no, we've run out of toilet paper. Oh, no, we've run out of milk. Sure, ideally, we would have a stock. But if I need to, there is a shop just 30 seconds away. In fact, there's about 2 of them. And if I'm wanting to walk 1 minute away, there's about 4 shops. Amazing. There's two supermarkets, one that's kind of selling things ostensibly at 99 pence, but most of them are £5 or more. And there's another shop which is Atsacan, and then there's a hair, just living right next to a busy road. For me, even though there is a bit of noise at night, I'm not going to lie, I prefer this way of living. And that to me is a brilliant thing. I think this would be tastier if I hadn't brushed my teeth. Yeah, the tea, I think I would have actually preferred just some water. Anyway, let me pop that. Well, my room really needs some tidying. Anyway, so I'm going to today, as you might see in the thingamajiggy, I am going to be talking about the streaming. I would like to know your opinions, and I would like to hear what you think of the streams. I'm going to talk about what I think of the streams, what I've been enjoying, and hopefully just thinking a wee bit more about after 46 episodes. So once I get to episode 400, just for clarity, I am going to be stopping for about 3 weeks, and then I'm going to be resuming. But I might make some changes, and I'm going to see those 3 weeks as a chance to kind of regroup and refresh myself and see what I want to do. Because, yeah, let's start off. Why did I start? And, a bad drawing made by a cat or the best drawing of a cat ever? So are you asking which one I would prefer? Because I think I would prefer to have... I mean, how bad is the bad drawing done by a cat? Because does the bad drawing by a cat have any... Is it basically just expressive art with vomit on a bit of paper? Because I am imagining that could be a thing, and I would definitely not like that sort of abstract art that's literally just vomit. But if it's a cat has actually managed to move a pencil, and if it looks, even like a 1-year-old scribble, I would go with that. That seems a lot more valuable. That seems... wow. I would like to see that made. So yeah, that is my answer to that questionably quick question. So yeah, I'm going to get a wee bit more on topic now, but you can feel free to ask and chat along if you want. And so let me move to the why did I start streaming? So back in the day, for those who... I always wonder when I'm telling this story if everyone's heard it before, but I know that not everyone comes to literally every stream, because I stream like 20 hours a week, something ridiculous. I streamed firstly because of Sally Jones. Sally Jones, for those who don't know, known as the Crafting Jones. And shout out to Sally Jones, who makes amazing brooches and hair clips and hats and all sorts of things with cards. Sally Jones is just amazing. Sally Jones, the Crafting Jones. And so after Aircon, lockdown was happening. The pandemic was now a thing. Everything was being cancelled. We were chatting on the phone. There was someone... I think there was some hateful comments directed at both of us that made me want to give Sally a ring to say, hey, Sally, are you all right? And also then we commiserated about the fact that we both love swing dancing. Swing dancing was not happening. It was sad times. Such sad times. It still is. But I said to Sally, hey, Sally, I normally go swing dancing on a Tuesday. I don't have anything to do. You had a date on Tuesday. Your date got cancelled. What if I invented a game and then we played it together, and we could play it maybe on, that Facebook Live? I think I could work. There's definitely a way that you can sort of get multiple video cameras, and then we could do it. And if anyone else wants to join in, then we could all play together. And that was how it started. I think it was on Tuesday at 8 p.m. I think it might have been 7 or I, I think it was 8 originally. And oh, there we go. So, like someone who's not heard the story before. So, Sally Jones and I played this new game. Is this an actual? Not yeah. So we played this game with the L deck. I assume this is a full L deck, and so you know what the L deck looks like. In this game, I was thinking, okay, how could I make a new game? I'm going to make a game that maybe something is about set collection. Maybe you've got to think about 1, 2, and 3-letter words. I can't remember exactly what the original rules were, but that's a game that became Freemail, which is a game all about making 1-letter words, 2-letter words, and 3-letter words. So it's really simple words, but it's basically all about set collection. So you've got to make sure that you apportion the things correctly. Anyway, that went through lots of changes, and that first time, I think, Mark Hook was definitely there in the comments, chatting away and playing along. I think James, my friend from Essex, James K, was there. I think it might have just been myself and Sally and James on screen. I can't quite remember. Anyway, so we decided to do it Tuesday, and then, hey, let's do it again on Thursday. And then during Wednesday, I kind of thought about what we could play. I made some tweaks, and then even during Wednesday, I was thinking, hey, this is basically my new social life. Sadly, we can't have people over. We can't. One of the housemates just left to kind of stay with their parents, when lockdown was announced, saying, I don't want to be here if I'm not able to have people over, if I'm not able to go to anyway. So this was going to be the new social life. I wasn't going to be able to see other people. I wasn't going to be able to go to playtest. And we did a thing on Friday where, Friday we tried to, instead of playtesting, we had a private, as in it wasn't recorded, but anyone was welcome. You could come in and join us on the Friday morning daytime playtest. And so we played games publicly on Tuesday, Thursday, and then Sunday, and for quite a while it continued because it was just such good fun. And sometimes playing games that I had made, occasionally, very occasionally playing a game that someone else had invented and saying, hey, can we play this? And often playing, I think we played some Just One, and we played some other games. We tried Say Anything, and we tried Wits and Wagers. That's a good one. We tried, the Big Taboo, actually. Speaking of Taboo, I've got a box that's the Big Taboo, and one of the Big Taboo actually has 4 different games, not just one. It has 4 different games, and the Big Taboos, I'm so tempted to go and get it, but I need to be left with a minutes of just looking at nothing. But it's got this little Eric, this little windy, bendy toy, and one of the games, 4 words, it works really well for stream. Anyway, that was great fun. And I'm still enjoying that. That's why I continue to play games every Tuesday. But then I found that I was just getting out of bed really late. I was generally getting out of bed maybe 1, 2 p.m. I am not currently... I'm trying to... So back when I worked for Alley Cats Games, I had to be there at a particular time. I think I was waking up maybe 8 to get to lecture. Although, because Cesar was paying for my train ticket as an expense, I think I got the off-peak train whenever that is. But the point is, I've not had to get out for, okay, do this work at this particular time. I'm kind of in this weird semi-privileged situation where I'm earning way less than. So if you know what they have, basically, the point where you have to pay tax. Well, I'm under it. Let's just put it that way. But I am able to pay the rent. I'm able to pay. I'm able to buy food occasionally. I'm able to occasionally, buy fancy drinks. I might try to economize, but I'm able to occasionally buy nice things. And I'm in this privileged situation where at the start of 2020, I was basically spending my days pondering things, getting out, working out games, then having people playtest them, and then taking them to shows. I took some games to Nuremberg. I took some games to Festival International de Jeux in Cannes, and people liked them. Publishers took them away and said, we will playtest them with children, and if the children like them, then we will publish these. And then the testing with children didn't happen because COVID. And even though we had a playtest going on every Friday, I didn't feel it wasn't the same emotionally. I could only, yeah, I was feeling a bit down maybe. I was lacking in energy. I didn't have a reason to get out of bed. That's ultimately what it was. And so I was discussing this with a few people, and then Heather Newton, lovely friend, and now part of a kind of very small support group that I've got Heather Newton, myself, Molly, and a couple of others. But Heather Newton, who runs the Protospiel Online, shout out to Protospiel Online, Heather Newton said to me, hey, have you considered streaming in the mornings? I know that you're doing streaming in the evenings, but there's this person called Pat Flynn who does a daily stream every morning. Have you considered that? And I was like, that's an interesting idea. And so I said, okay, what can I stream about? What could I stream about? And if you look on YouTube, you'll find my first, few morning streams. And at the very start, I reached out on Facebook and I said, hey, I'm thinking of starting this stream. Do you have any questions about board game design or anything? And if you do, then chuck them in and I will try to answer them. And I thought that maybe some of my streams would be just answering questions. Maybe some of my streams would be reviewing something. And then I think number 1 or number 2 was reviewing Kawaii, which is still a game that I love, even though I've not managed to. Cole doesn't like it, but I really like it. I think Kawaii is just brilliant with the hearts and anyway, from Helvetic. But the point is that's basically how I started, and I streamed every day until I think, episode 300. And then so I streamed 300 days in a row, and then the next day I didn't stream at all, and that felt a bit weird. And between 300 and 307, I had 5 days break. It wasn't exactly 5 days, and then 301, it was, oh wait, I've got this talk with Dave Turksey. Well, I probably should do that. And okay, so I kind of didn't do the ones that were just me, if you know what I mean. But I did do the ones that were with other people. But I decided that actually having an occasional rest does, and that brings me to, why am I still streaming? Yeah, so I started off with trying to it was basically to get out of bed in the morning. It was to have a reason to get out of bed. I like talking, and I felt like it was also a social audience. Why am I still streaming? I'm streaming because this gives me a purpose. It gives me having an audience, knowing that there's a couple of people watching, and hopefully this is of interest to you. That's quite validating, knowing that people expect me to be here at 10 a.m. And, the fact that within a few minutes, thank you to me, my Game Cupboard. I'm going to call you the Game Cupboard rather than Kelly Lee and Ben. I assume it's Kelly Lee, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, the point is that, within 15 minutes, and Flo, I'm so sorry, Flo, I'm so sorry. I forgot you. But thank you all for kind of popping in and being, I would Friendly Friday forum, and I think that as I started interviewing more people, there was a time between maybe 100 and 200 where I was interviewing about 5 new people a week, and that was way too much. It was a lot to organize. But I really like talking to people. Really like it when we've got a conversation going. I love it when Alan and Rita and Matthew Dunstan are here for a couple of hours, and I know we're able to chat. I like it actually when, yesterday, when every couple of weeks Yoda pops in, and I'm going to maybe sort out someone else, if someone else feels like they could benefit somehow from some sorts of advice or mentorship or fortnightly chatting, because hopefully I've got some good advice to do with making good games, because I've thought about it a lot and because I've got some experience. And from my perspective right now, it's just nice to chat, and that is the truth of it. If it's like, okay, at this time we are chatting, it's like, okay, a little portion of the day where we're all doing our own thing, we're having a bit of communication, and it feels like everyone's getting something out of it. It feels like, it's bringing people together. And even though right now it's just me, and yeah, no, thank you, lots of love to you, Maya, and all the other people like Game Cupboard, Flo, and Timmy. Lots of love to everyone. And if there's any lurkers, then feel free to say hello and make yourself known. But, or don't. And honestly, I see every day that there's a couple of people who like the Facebook video, and there's a whole bunch of people who watch and never comments, and that's totally okay. That's, at least maybe those people. And I think having a I do this every day, this is something that's a real draw to me. I learn from others. I definitely learned from Martin Wallace, from talking with that Ian Paravel, and I'm so happy that I managed to somehow help Xate get a job that will hopefully work out well. And lots of love to you too, all of you. But like, I learn from these people who pop in. I learn from Alan Paul. I learn from actually going to look to see who came. Yeah, Etan, like talking about the competition, and sometimes it's a bit self-centered. It's like, okay, is there an opportunity? Is there a marketing opportunity in Mind Sports Olympiad for me? But it's also, I'm interested in this. Let's get to know each other. And meeting Flavia and Loazia on Monday, when it was, hey, we've never chatted. This isn't. Yeah, I've got a business interest, because if this goes well, then Flavian will be distributing Yogi potentially in a few years' time. But it's more of a conversation, and yeah, like sometimes it's, I learn a wee bit about marketing. I learn from other people's case studies, and sometimes with the chaotic shenanigans, I just like to chat. And with Friendly Friday Forum, which I started in December, it's just, yeah, please, on Fridays, if you want to jump in on 20 minutes, and even though that's not turned out exactly like I had expected, because people, for whatever reason, don't jump in as much as I would have thought. I mean, personally, I guess most people aren't quite as attention-seeking or extroverted as me. But yeah, it's kind of like, I wouldn't afford that opportunity to an absolute stranger. If someone's jumping in for the first time, for sure, I wouldn't say, oh yeah, please join me on stream. But, to any of you, Flo, Maya, Game Cupboards, if you, obviously, some of you like, I would be happy to have you on for a full episode. But if you want to jump on for just like 20 minutes and say, hey, you know what, this was our highlights on Friday, and Friday I would like it to become, and I probably need to do a bit more work at kind of making this clear. Hey, Friday, you are able to chat from the chats and just type things, or if you've got the time, jump in for 20 minutes, for half an hour, for 5 minutes. If you want to say, hey, I'm doing good, this has been something that I really enjoyed, and here's a game that I've really enjoyed. Rocky Road a la mode. For the record, it well, I enjoyed it somewhat. I might get rid of it. Let me show a game that I'm more biased about. So you might say, here's a game that I really enjoyed. That's the name of the game, which covers the entire box. But, or you might show off something, or maybe you show off a picture that you made, or you show off, or we get to hear your voice. Do you know what I mean? There's something nice about that. But I think that's where I get benefit from it, from having an audience, from having this schedule to kind of get up to be here at a certain time. Like on the 5 days when I wasn't streaming, there were some days that I just didn't get out of the house because I didn't have the routine. And this year I've been on a routine where every day even if it's just round the block, I get out of the house, I do that wee bit of exercise, and sometimes I get myself a wee bit refreshed and, scrub some water and then a wee bit of soap, how to take a shower. And I'm not going to go into all the bathroom things, but you know how it is, like it's something that gets me out of bed, because otherwise the temptation would just be to lie there. I mean, my bed is, you can't see it, but it's literally, my hand is literally over it. The temptation would be to just lie there and, I don't know, look up articles on the internet, watch videos, read things, maybe scroll through Facebook, maybe play games. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things. I mean, there is nothing wrong with being on Facebook. But if you're going to be on Facebook because you really want to be on Facebook. If you want to be on, and thank you, Stream Elements, for reminding me. If you want to be sleeping because you gosh darn well want to be sleeping, not just because you're feeling a wee bit down and it's the easy thing to do. Do you know what I mean? If you want to replay games on your phone, and even if they're really rubbish games and you know this, and then you're listening to podcasts, then, gosh darn well do it. But do it mindfully. Do it because you really want to do it, because you're taking joy from it at that moment in time. And, yesterday when I played a ridiculous amount of Super Puzzle Platformer Deluxe, which I might actually... you know what? I've talked about it enough. I'm going to show it to you before the stream finishes. Do it because you've said, I really want to do this. Not because it's just the easiest thing to do. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a nice thing about the stream, that it forces me to do something that's sometimes not the easiest. In the same way that when I went playtesting, it's not the easiest thing to do. But I did it because it was a routine. I cycled, an hour, I stayed there for a while, and then I cycled back. And sometimes I went to Andy's place and I cycled, half an hour. That's a bit closer. And then I stayed there for a couple of hours. And all of these things, it's having some sort of purpose. And that's honestly the biggest reason why I'm streaming, because it gives me a sense of purpose. So, what was the next question? What am I enjoying and what am I not enjoying? So, I really enjoy it when there's people on and it's kind of casual conversation. Do you know what I mean? I like it when there's free-flowing conversation. I sometimes like it when there's a specific topic. Sometimes when there's discussions with Matthew and Alan and Rita, or sometimes making games. I enjoy that. I enjoyed when I was trying to make that game about the simultaneous, and then we called it Spook School. I think I made a Google document about it, but I can't remember what the name was. I actually might make a prototype of that for tomorrow. I'm not sure. It depends how I'm going to make sure that I get myself out of the house for at least half an hour or so later on the bike. But and maybe do some reading. But yeah, I've enjoyed all these things. The things that I don't enjoy are, I don't enjoy it when I feel like I'm having to negotiate and beg other people, oh, how can we fit this around? If someone says, hey, I can't do it, okay, that's fine. If someone says, okay, I can do this day and that day, then okay, that's fine. But sometimes if someone's like, I kind of get the feeling that someone doesn't want to be on, and that's not enjoyable. If someone wants to come on and it's like, hey, um, yeah, that if it's sometimes okay, we've got to have the back and forth, and please give me the details. Oh, by the way, can you remember? Please give me the details. Oh, you said you were going to. I'm not. There have been some people who, for whatever reason, they've been busy, and if they just said, you know what, I'm too busy to make it, and that's been a few people, and they've just said, no, I don't want to come on, and some people have not given that, they've just said, and was like, hey, friend, would you like to come on? We've chatted at Essen, and we had some lovely chats. If you would be up for coming up for maybe an hour and talk about your methods of game design. And I've had like one person where the answer was just no, and that was the entire message. And that felt like, oof, that's. But then, that's fair. Like, people do have limited energy, and I would rather they did that than it became a big palaver, which is why now I don't even put someone in the diary until they've given me their details, until they've given me their photo and a bio, because otherwise then it's in the diary and then I need to chase them up. Whereas, hey, once you've given me those details, you'll go into the. So it's the organization of it. The other thing that I'm not enjoying is the truth. In truth, I'm happy that I'm waking up at a good time, but I think I would like to have be able to sleep in maybe once a week. And part of me wonders whether I should move to maybe doing it 6 days a week. Sunday seems to be my least popular day for whatever reason. And I'm not going to change it straight away. This might be in the 400s, but this is kind of, yeah, could I change that? I'm also thinking that if I have more regular groups, and that's why next week I have two different groups. One is for a bunch of people who've published other people to focus on publishing. One is to focus on kind of the self-publishing. And once I get kind of regular dates, for me, that becomes a lot more enjoyable. I mean, don't get me wrong. If again, I really appreciate like all the people who came on just once or twice or whatever. But hello, Joanne. Lovely to see you. I am having a bit of introspection. I am chatting about the stream. I am chatting about what I'm enjoying, what I'm not enjoying, and how I might choose to change things or not change things. I've chatted about why I started, why I'm still doing it, what I'm enjoying, and what I'm not enjoying is the kind of organization aspect. And even though I like that it's a really simple schedule every day at 10 a.m. UK time, that is my schedule. But yeah, I've not decided anything so far, but inputs is very welcome. I mean, I'm here. I would love to hear. You can give me your opinions any day for sure, but please, and because of you, actually, because of Joanne, like shout out to Joanne. I don't think there's any moderator, so let me shout out to just Joanne C. There we go. So Joanne, musician and crafter, makes cards and chats and has cats, and that's pretty much. And I know that Joanne's lovely, and you're very welcome. And yeah, I feel like Joanne is, because of Joanne, like I have reviewing this stream, double line, chatting, pondering, planning. So where's the wee banner data? So if you look at this, back in the day, I would have just put reviewing this stream. But Joanne said, sometimes it's a discussion, sometimes it's playing a game, sometimes you're chatting. I don't know what I'm jumping into. So that's one change that happened directly because someone said, hey, I want to have the word chatting or discussing in there. And so that's why I always have, key title and then double line, which is a thing that a lot of Twitch folk have. But it just seems actually, you know what, that's really good practice. I should do more of that. Oh yeah, and Joanne does a lot of showing off the garden lately. Anyway, so what do I want to change? This is the next question that I wanted to ask myself, and of course, yeah, the other bits that I very much want to ask you is, what are you enjoying? What would you like to see more of? What do you think I should change? What turns you away? So, what do I want to change? That's the thing. I'm really not sure. I would like to make it, I'm thinking that I will probably start doing reviews that are streamed, but I'm not going to do multiple boxes in one stream. Because I've chatted about Rocky Road a la mode, but if you want to find my review of this, you can't find it in Board Game Geek. You can't go to YouTube and hopefully have a nice picture on the front, because it's done with a whole bunch of other games, because I used to do like 5 games in one video, and whilst that was nice from my perspective, I feel like I should have been doing, if I felt like these reviews had any value, I feel like those reviews, I want to do them a little bit faster. So rather than 1 hour to 2 hours, maybe half an hour to an hour. They're still going to be very blethery. They're still going to be getting into, design thoughts that probably no one else would bother talking about. But maybe it'll be, I don't know, a sequence of like occasionally every other week there's going to be a whole bunch of them. Joanne will say that I had to duck out for Jackbox games because I don't have that app and no room on my phone for it. I liked Words on Stream better as a game for chat. Even better, I liked the Monster Faces games. Do you mean the wee whimsical creatures where you're making the noises? Is that the one where you mean? Because for the games where people are chatting, are playing along to it, that's something that I very much focus on the Tuesdays. Okay, just to clarify, for Jackbox games, you can play a lot. You don't need to download an app. You go onto the internet, and so you open your browser, whether that's, I don't know what you use on an Android. I guess it would be Chrome or Safari or Internet Explorer or Firefox or whatever, and then it's Jackbox.tv. And so Jackbox TV basically allows other people to play. And Maya, did you want to say what I said, or did you want to say what Joanne said? Sorry for the, and oh, absolutely. You just play it on your browser. So like if people want to play it like today, like in 20 minutes, we totally could, and if you're up for it. But let me here's my Firefox window, which I am going to stream and so that probably tells you which. I don't know why that one's there. Can I change what the top sites are? Like, I know 6 of these things I use a lot. Oh, 2 of them are sponsored. Can I get rid of the sponsored ones? Dismiss. Let's dismiss this one. Okay, there we go. And why had I never done that before? What was it? Oh yeah, Jackbox. It's literally just jackbox.tv. So you go to jackbox.tv and then there's some room code and then you type in whatever the room code is and they keep their servers running, so that won't actually work. But each room has a different thing. And yeah, probably not Jackbox today. That's totally fair. And Maya says, I love Jackbox, but I can't play today watching kids. That's totally fair. And my husband is asleep and I am just on my phone now. That's totally fair. But thank you for being here. But yeah, that suggests that because for sure there are games that I have played when I started doing words on stream. This was another thing. I started to make my streams longer and longer and longer. So I tried words on stream on a Friday and I enjoyed it. And then I got really into it. And then one time on Idle Michael's stream, they got to level 50, which is just ridiculous. Level 50, you need to basically get every word that there is. And yeah, time starts going faster and words letters start spinning faster. And during the fortnight while I was in Glasgow, I had a couple of streams where we chatted and then Yoda left and then I started playing words on stream and then we played some more words on stream for like 2 hours and it became like a 4-hour stream, which is ridiculous. And I don't want to do that, like certainly not as a default. I would like to make these, if anything, a wee bit more focused, a wee bit shorter. I would like, if I'm going to play a video game, I would like it to be, again, going back to what I said at the start, if you want to do these things, do them because you really want to do them. I would like to maybe shorten the streams. I've been letting them drift longer and longer and longer and longer, especially when it's me on my own, especially when I started having other games involved. And, lots of love. And I'm so sorry that you've had a stressful couple of days. If you if you want, I'm very happy to hear that. If you want to bring it up, like I would, like maybe in 10 minutes or something. Need to split screaming match. Oh, shoot. Lots of love. Sorry that you've got a screaming match at your place. Thank you very much, and lots of love to you, Maya. I mean, I'm not changing much. I'm just thinking I want to focus a wee bit more. When people are here, maybe gets into the conversation a wee bit more, and Flo enjoys playing Play Along Tuesdays because it's at the time that you're awake. That's good information. So Flo, if there were more, because now that, so while I was in Glasgow, 6 p.m, I said, okay, we found out that Simpsons also has an episode at 5:30. So I was, okay, 5:30 p.m, 6 p.m, I'm sitting down with my parents, we're playing games together. Then I had some making dinner dates and we were making dinner together a few times. And, I'm trying to prioritize that. But now that I'm here, my social life, it's not like there's a big social life in this household necessarily. It's not like we've got something to congregate around, which is. But yeah, if I am actually chatting to a couple of Americans about coming on the show at a later time, because I'm not sure what to call it. I'm thinking a blether with Mandy Hutchinson, or yeah, because getting to know is already maybe all about sounds good. Yeah, all about Scott Aldy or whatever. But yeah, this is a kind of thing that I'm planning to do, frankly, at a time that suits that person. That's one separate thing. So there might be some personalities. How do people come on? No, it's done through an internet browser. So yeah, Joanne, So on a Friday, Friendly Friday forum, literally everyone is welcome. If you want to jump on, you totally could. It's with the StreamYard link, so the StreamYard works in your browser. Actually, let me see if I can share it. Okay, so if you go to StreamYard, then this is what it looks like. So you've got the comments here, and then I can go to my banners, and I've got bots. That's something that I can pop in. But for other people don't have to see all this stuff. And obviously, you don't normally see everything. So I could remove, and I would see everyone in the thing down at the bottom. But for other people, it's just you see it, you just type in the link, and when you're jumping in, actually, let me show another screen to make it even more trippy. This is going to be, if you thought this was trippy, nah, you ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, so you join in, and then it says, hey, watch out, and then it would normally at this point say, hey, do you want to show your do you want to share your thing? I'm going to mute that just to make it less terrible. And there we go. Now there could be all the things. Going to, okay. So yeah, that is. So yeah, now I'm here twice. And I could keep doing that, except it's harder on the computer. So if I wanted to, for example, pop in, and these are all normal, most people don't see these, but this is all I actually wanted to do a stream at some point about how StreamYard works, because I do pay an annual subscription because I decided it's worth it for me. And then the person pops themselves in. Oh, wait a minute, I need to mute that person. And mute that there, so it's not too terrible. And there we go. As if I removed that. Hey! It's like Andy Warhol. And one final one, just to, because actually let me just do 9. 9 seems like a good number. You can probably hear the fan on my computer at this point. Yep, you can definitely hear that fan. I do apologize for it. And that. And yep, it sure is working hard. And so that's what 5 looks like. And then we've got 6. I think 10 is the maximum. 10 is the maximum. I am putting my, and you can go like that, or it can be like that. So it can be, yeah. I might actually, I'm going to close these windows because, yeah, that feels a wee bit, hopefully the computer won't be overheating. So, yes, Joanne, back to the comments. Joanne, yes, you could 100% be on the stream on Fridays. I clearly do not make this obvious enough. Friendly Friday forum, I want it to not just be people chatting along on the comments. Maybe I need to have a FFF command on Twitch that I retype occasionally, just saying, hey people, you can jump in on the stream. If you want to jump in, ask Bez for the link. On a Friday, it's just jump in, jump out, but please don't shout. I even wrote a poem for it. And so, yeah, Friendly Friday forum. I said, As always on a Friday, it's also about you. I really am quite interested in all the things you do. How are you? Hope you're well. If not, please know you can share and tell. How was your week? Any highlights, lessons learned, gaming delights? What are you looking forward to? What are the things you're trying to do? We might get into a deep discussion, but we'll dip out again for silly action. And if you're cool, you can join me on camera, even if briefly. Jump in, jump out, but please don't shout, and mute yourself if making noise when you're not chatting. Respectful questions and comments are a go. Feel free to be silly for the entire show. But if it's not going okay, you can still tell me that's okay. And I don't want people to think it's only about levity, because genuinely, and I know that sometimes in my Discord, you might think, oh, all of this is light discussion. And I was thinking about this because there's a place that Maya and I are part of called The Place, which is, yeah, there's kind of a, okay, let's have some heavy chats now. And I wonder if I should say, okay, here's some, let's acknowledge the heavy emotions. Let's have a space for that, because there's definitely value to that. But yeah, on Fridays, 100%. And Flo says, I do watch your video on demands. I appreciate when you have guests, but I also enjoy it when it's just you chatting. I love watching you draw cats. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Thank you for letting me know. Because I see occasionally there's a few views and like on Facebook or whatever, and it's like, oh, do people actually watch that? And yeah, you can't hear the fan anymore. There's lots of laughing from that. I'm glad that you enjoyed that little perception as, oh, there's Emerald. Oh, so like if also the link would, you know what, Joanne, the link even works on phone. So if you want to join in with your phone and show us Emerald, although I will warn you that if you've got a two-directional camera, like, you know, some modern smartphones have like a camera this way, so it shows your face, and the camera the other way, so it shows, you know, the environment. It only works with the camera that's showing your face. So if you want to show Emerald, you'd have to kind of put the camera round, and you wouldn't be able to see what you're showing, if you know what I mean. What if you and I could do art together? Asks Joanne. So I find that doing art, maybe, you know what? Yeah, like on a Friday, maybe we could slightly theme the Fridays. Maybe we could have, okay, this Friday's for crafting, and people can jump in and show their screen and or show what they're doing and show their table or whatever they want, and yeah, chat as we wish. Or that could be nice. And maybe one day it could be okay, but I want it to also be okay just chatting, and I like that kind of anything goes vibe, that marky mark. That's the thing, like everything needs planning, and that was the one thing that I'm not enjoying. That this is why I quite like having the regularity of things where, okay, Yoda comes on, I don't need to worry about that. Maybe I tweak one of the lines and the number in the description, but I didn't have to do anything until we actually went on. It was just about, okay, I know where you're at with the game. We've had a couple of conversations. Now let's get started. And see, this is a thing, like, I am thinking of theming the days. I do want to acknowledge firstly Flo. So Flo said, I always understood you wanted people to jump in if they wanted, but I never knew how it would be done technically. So it's good to see how it is done. And why is there... Oh, I was trying to work out. So yeah, you wouldn't see necessarily all the banners, but you get to see, while you are on stream, you get to see all the comments from Twitch, and if anyone comments on Facebook or YouTube. I will say that on the comments here, if any people are normally very nice, normally people don't have to be timed out or whatever, but if someone has to be timed out to get their messages deleted, they still stay here. But I do pretty much have a zero tolerance policy for bigotry, discrimination, and all that sort of thing. I want, if you ask your question, and if it's like, you know what, that's a problematic question that you're asking. There's a lot of, you're asking me a sexual question that's not appropriate for the stream. I don't want people asking about my sex life. I don't want people asking me exactly how much money I make. Basically, anything else goes. But it's also about the tone of the questions. If someone were to ask, hey, I mean, there's certain questions that can be seen as fine on the surface, but there's a sinister edge to them. And I try to give people the benefits of the doubt. But, Flo, like, you, on a Tuesday, if you can jump in, then you can jump in. And talking about time zones, I probably have to be here, like London, for a few more weeks before I decide what I'm going to change. But I might start another evening thing, because I was thinking, you know what, Tuesdays I quite enjoyed, and maybe I might do something else where maybe one night a week it's okay, the expectation is that there's other people, and one night a week it's more of a solo game or a chat along, but so it's a bit of a different vibe, but people can jump in if they want and give advice. It might be something like Friday, like playing along to Friday, or it might be I actually brought, it might be playing games on, like, how would people feel about playing games on Board Game Arena on stream? And I would, because Board Game Arena, you need to make an account, but it is free to do so, and I love what's going on there. And again, this is something that maybe in a couple of weeks, this is something that's in the back of my head. I would like to do more playthroughs. I would like to do so much more, but I want to do it in a specific manner. I don't want to just be chatting and then saying, oh, I'm going to keep chatting. And, I might do a 24-hour stream, but I want it to be because I planned it or because I'm really enjoying it. I don't want it to just be because I'm doing this. I want to keep doing it. Do you know what I mean? Joanne, I'm thinking about it. I think that I'm going to, at least for the mornings, I'm going to try and structure them. I've already got Sundays, it's reviewing something. Sometimes it's reviewing the stream. Next Sunday, I'm going to be reviewing other people's ideas. If you would like me to review your idea, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I'm an expert in everything, but I have some opinions on games. I've got some opinion. I can form opinions on pretty much anything. So if you have some sort of ideas, then email them to me at stuffbybez@gmail.com and maybe put in the subject line, these ideas to be reviewed, or something like that. So I know that these ideas are to be reviewed for next Sunday. And that's something that I'm planning. And I just decided it yesterday. But, and yeah, in future Sundays, I think I like reviewing things. I like having that space, but I'm not sure any longer that having a scheduled stream is the way to do it. Yeah, that's one big change I will make. I'll probably review a game, stop video, go to the next game, review it, stop video. But I will always be a lot more interactive. I've seen streams where I jump in, I say hello, no one says hello back, and that seems just sad. I appreciate that you appreciate it. Thank you very much. Um, you know, I am not against swearing in life. I do believe very strongly that you have to think about the meaning behind a message. Let's say, I mean, I can think of incredibly hurtful things that someone could say to you that don't involve any so-called vulgarity. And in real life, I think that as an intensifier, I'm not against it, but I do acknowledge that it can be problematic. And so I try to keep, if I struggle for words, if I'm really struggling, and if I really want to swear, I will say bleep. I will self-censor and I will say, yeah, this is bleep bleep. And I might say bleep multiple times to kind of you normally can tell what I'm saying, but it's even that it's kind of skirting a bit close to it. But yeah. Oh, and this is the thing. I'm not against swearing. Yeah, let's not make this a discussion about swearing. But yeah, So Joanne likes informal chats games best. Yeah, that's another thing. I've gotten to the point where there are on Tuesdays I'm alternating between wordy games and what non-wordy games like social games. So I think we had like balanceable, and this week if I actually get to draw them because I wasn't able to bring down any creatures, we'll have wee whimsical creatures, and then we'll have nano muckle and micro muckle, and then we'll have a week with maybe the most like a pineapple again, and then going back and forth between these two styles. But I really do like Jackbox Party Pack because people don't need to purchase anything. People can play from their laptop. And so if I allow a bit of digital action, which I don't allow on Tuesdays, that's been a very specific thing. Yeah, we could have, there's basically one game in there that I really like, which is Enough About You, which is where you kind of lie about yourself and other people try to work out which are the lies and which are the truths. And I also, there's also one game there that I've not played yet, which I might like. Bracketeering's all right. I would be down to play that. And yeah, there are some games on Board Game Arena, like Lucky Numbers. Lucky Numbers on Board Game Arena, if you were to jump in, that's a really simple game, plays in about 10 minutes, and we could easily chat whilst playing that one. And also it's open information, so I could have my screen showing so other people get to see what's happening, and there's no problem with that. But yeah, if that's something that people would be interested in, like Flo, if you would be interested in playing some Lucky Numbers, or maybe what's that Sid Saxon Push Your Luck thing? Can't Stop. Yeah, Can't Stop. That's another really simple one that anyone could dive into, and playing again maybe just for an hour, maybe starting at 8 on a Friday, Thursday, some day that suits me. It has to be a day that suits me, so definitely not to Wednesday. But yeah, would you jump in? But yeah, let me know, what do you think that I should change? And what turns you away? These are questions that ideally I would ask people who aren't watching, which is kind of the weird thing, because you are already watching, but what are you enjoying? What would you like to see more of? I am going to keep it family friendly. I appreciate you telling me that. I am going to keep the Tuesday things. I appreciate you telling me that, Flo. And yeah, But if you've got any other feedback, do let me know. And I think, was there one more question? Oh yeah, there was one last question that I was going to ask myself before I finish up. And then if you want to chat, Joanne, would I ever take you for a real life walk? I kind of have, like, probably could do. Like, are you wanting to see? What are you wanting to see? Like, is it because I mentioned that I have a garden? Are you wanting to see the garden? Yeah, it was actually tidied up yesterday. I've got 19% on the battery because I intentionally let it drain down to see how long it would last. And yeah, you know what? I'm not entirely comfortable with people seeing the inside of all the rooms, but I could absolutely, yeah, I think I am comfortable turning off the camera and then going into the garden and then showing you wee bits of that, if that's what. Or were you meaning actually wandering around London, like showing you the sights of London, like maybe streaming from my phone in front of the Tower of London? I could totally do that. Would you like to see the? Would you like to see me? Maybe not tomorrow because I'm actually with someone, and then my phone would run out of. Would you like? What? Next Friday. Would you like me to be in front of some landmark on Friday? Is that what you would like? That sounds actually quite fun. I like that idea. Maybe I should stream in front of in front of the Houses of Parliament. I could cycle down there and stream in front of the Houses of Parliament. It would be a bit windy, so it wouldn't be so. I really like this idea. I know this might not have been your intention, but I really like this idea. Oh my gosh. Or like every Friday could be like in a different place, and then we just stream until my phone dies out of battery. Although then I wouldn't have anything to listen to when I come back. That would be a bit sad. Yeah. Problems. I will find a way to sort it with battery packs or something. But yeah, let me know what you think. Would you like to see beds in front of landmarks? Oop. Stream Elements reminding me to stretch. Thank you, Stream Elements. Wow, I have many lines in my forehead. Back and front. Outdoors in Scotland or gardens. London I would love. I might like the landmark idea, says Joanne. Well, that's good to know. Okay. I did used to stream. You know what? I am going to start streaming every Friday in a different place. Next Friday, it's going to be in the garden. And Friday, the things I took photos of ducks and stuff. Ducks? Do you mean with the L deck? Because if you mean the L deck photos, most of the L deck photos were not by me, they were by Chris, if you mean the ones on Twitter. But if there were ducks in... Oh, that was in Scotland, yeah. Do you mean the pond on my Instagram? If you mean on my Instagram, if you mean the Instagram, then that was... Yeah, I moved from Glasgow to London. This is my normal address here. So I was based in Glasgow for about... I was living with my parents for 5 months because of things. But, yeah. Yeah, that's a bit too far now. I mean, that's on the other side of the UK. If only you told me before. Actually, I don't know if I would have really... I also have to be mindful of how busy a place is, like, especially during these times of COVID, I'm just thinking. But, no, I will find some nice places. You know, I'll do something with our garden. Chris has just mowed the lawn yesterday, so it's looking very nice, and so I will sit outside next Friday and every Friday. And Games Cupboard, I really appreciate that. I do have a very expensive battery pack that I used at UK Games Expo. When was it? 2019, the last UK Games Expo. And I want to say that I charged my phone several times. I charged a laptop from it. Other people were charging their phone, and it lasted like, and by the end of the day, it was like 30% done. So it is pretty heavy though. It's like the size of a bottle. It's slightly bigger than this, but it's worth it. And I just need to find it because my room is currently a mess. This is a sad truth. But I will find my battery pack. Maybe not for this Friday when I'm in the garden, and I'll just be going on the Wi-Fi in the garden. But for future Fridays, that's going to be the rule. Bez will be in a different location every Friday. I really like this idea. Great. I mean, sorry, Joanne, you're constantly coming up with all these amazing things. Have the first sip, just for the record. And Joanne's garden things only take 15 minutes. Oh, I just want to chat in the garden. I just want the garden as a background. I just want to, blether in the garden. But also, I want to say, I'm not sponsored or anything, but this is actually, this was half price at my local Sainsbury's. Apple, blueberry, goji berry smoothie. The first time I had it, so it was like, oh, I've just brushed my teeth and tastes don't go well together, but now there's a lovely sweetness, there's a lovely fruitiness. I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, 100%. Well done, Joanne. It is a fab idea. Fabulous. Applause for Joanne. Yeah, why not? If you have a laptop that can last, I mean, clearly this has lasted an hour and a half almost, and I've not had to plug it in yet. So I could have been out in the garden. I mean, I probably couldn't chat for 2 hours, but Friendly Friday forums were initially meant to be a wee bit faster. It wasn't meant to be about, and that's the thing, like, I'm not going to, I liked words on stream, but then it's, yeah, occasionally I feel like we've managed to get to level 26. I'm happy with that, and I feel like I don't want it to be like an every week or even an every fortnight thing necessarily. I would like words on stream to be maybe, yeah, if people really want it, then I'll do it again. But for me, it was more a, hey, this looks fun, let's try it out. And I don't want to be doing, sure, when I play that, when I play video games, more people come to the stream. But I don't want to just be doing what gets me more viewers. I want to be engaging with more regular people like yourselves who, like the games cupboard, like I see you, and Joanne, like I've seen you chatting, and we've had a chat on your stream, and it feels like you kind of get to know these people and flow. Like, even though I don't really know you, it's kind of like we've chatted on the stream and then you've joined the Discord. Thank you very much, and feel free to share anything like in the Discord about yourself. And it's, yeah, that's what I want. I would rather have I would like to have, people who have got some awareness of who they are. There's a reason, and now it's saying that my computer might sleep soon. If I'm I'm not saying that I have to know you. I'm okay with you watching, and if you want to say, "Oh, I want to keep my distance," and I don't want to get too involved, that's totally fair. It's not like, "Oh, you must get involved. You must tell me everything about yourself just to watch a stream." That's not what I'm saying at all. I hope no one gets that impression. But I just love it when I see familiar faces, familiar names, and it's a case of, "Hey, we are chatting, we are growing together, we are learning together, we are spending time together." And yeah, sometimes there's massive value in someone just putting up music and making themselves available. And someone in, like Andy Lippy, is very much a performance person. You can jump in, and then, there's all these things going on, and like all these streamers where wizzy bits. And I'm not saying I wouldn't like wizzy bits. Like sometimes I would like wizzy bits, but yeah. Anyway, firstly, thank you so much, Joanne. That means a lot, and I really appreciate you saying that. Joanne also speaks of their own friend who's afraid to leave the house. He loves being outdoors with Joanne because it helps them feel like the friend is going out. And so Joanne can see how this friend would love a just chatting stream outdoors where you're not doing anything in particular, you're not wandering around, you're just chatting. Because I love cycling. Although, side note, I do have to clear the corridor because it's not my stuff, but yeah, the corridor is too full and now I can't wheel a bike in and out, and that's not good, but I'm going to make sure that that happens today. Anyway, so tangents over. I do love cycling, but I feel like I have to have a destination. That's part of the reason why I hand delivered a whole bunch of packages earlier on in the pandemic, back when the L deck was on sale, as well as Kitty Cataclysm. Right now they're sold out and I'm not selling them for money to anyone. Yeah, I run like a competition every like 4 or 5 months, so I've given a few away, but I had a destination to go to. Do you know what I mean? I had a purpose, and I think that's the thing, like having a purpose. Anyway, speaking of being friendly, that's the end of the chat. If anyone else feels like they have anything else to talk about the stream, then please let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think maybe I should think about changing for the 5th season. Because after episode 400, I think I'm going to have a bit like episode 300, where I am having lots of people on stream. It's going to be epic. There's going to be more than 12 hours probably. It's going to be like, when is episode 400? I actually had it to my calendar. On Thursday the 10th. So Shem Phillips can't join unless I carry on until quite late at night, which I am totally going to do. So maybe I will go until from 10 a.m. until 2 a.m., something like that. So maybe it'll be like 16 hours. But don't worry, I will take care of myself. I will have food. I will make sure that there's breaks to stretch. I'll probably throw in some hula hooping occasionally, and of course, some stretching and some dance breaks. And I'll have a 3-week break, I've decided, where I will carry on the Tuesdays, but I won't have any morning streams. And I'll have very few evening streams. But then for my episode 401 to 500, like, what should I change? And I feel like for the morning streams, I'm just going to try and be a bit more focused and be like, this is the topic, and that's it. If I want to play words on stream, like, it's going to be like some sort of, not channel points, but stream elements points reward. Yeah. Joanne, I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better, and so lots of love. But if there's anything else that you want to chat about, then please do so. And yeah, it's totally appropriate. It's like I've chatted about, the stream. I've chatted about what have I chatted about? I've chatted about why I started streaming. I chatted about streaming games in the evening, having the social aspect, with then getting myself out of bed, having meeting people, socializing, um, having appointments, learning from people, and yeah, just sometimes having a bit of time to myself. And I talked about I am kind of maybe next time I'll do a recap on different types of streams. And but what do I want to change? I think I want to be a bit more focused. I don't think I want to I think I want to make sure that I'm streaming because I want to be streaming, not because there's people watching. Do you know what I mean? And then we had some great suggestions. Flo genuinely let me know if there's an evening that you're feeling okay. This is an eve. Are there particular evenings that would work well for you, or what? Anyone else? If I were to start doing some digital things, so like maybe Tuesday, it's all paper. Yeah, like we're doing it on a digital medium, but we play with paper and cards, and you write on paper or you speak with your. But then on this other day, you do a bit of typing, and maybe that other day we play words on stream, or we play Jackbox Party Pack, or we play Lucky Numbers on Board Game Arena. I don't know, and we could, and oh, we are totally. I'm just rambling. I'm just whittering, but do. And no, 100%. And thank you, everyone. And if there's anything that you want to share, and so before we talk about everything else, before I finish up, I just want to acknowledge once more, thank you everyone for chiming in, for being part of this conversation. And thank you, Joanne, for sparking this amazing idea of going for walks and visiting landmarks. That's a brilliant idea, and I'm definitely going to do it. And so, yeah, so now over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. So please, yep, if you've got anything, whether it's exciting or boring or trivial or serious or minor or major, or if you just want to mention what you're up to after this stream or things that have been going on before. So, firstly, yep, have you seen that the banjo is fixed? Yeah, I think you showed me, and lots of other people. Yeah, it looked really cool. I mean, congratulations on it. So Joanna has this really old, majestic banjo, and that makes me feel happy. You mean like, yeah, for sure. I mean, having sparking ideas. I mean, people lead to ideas. That's you know what? I have a book. It's not quite accessible. It's about 10 meters away. But this is such a good book. It's called A Kick in the Seat of the Pants. It's by Roger Von Uck. And there's a book before it called A Whack on the Side of the Head. These are two of the best books ever, seriously. These are great books about creativity. I was recently rereading A Kick in the Seat of the Pants, and then I'm going to finish reading it and then loan it to my friend Rob Harper. So, oh, you've got that book as well. Oh, have you got both of them? And there's a third one, like the book of the whack ball. But that third one, I'm not. It's more of a workshop. It's like these, but yeah. And you've just the whack on the side of the head. Well, the kick on the seats of and for those who aren't aware, A Whack on the Side of the Head by Roger Von Uck is about. It's not actually about hitting people on the side of the head. It's about being creative. About the nature of being creative. And then the second book, A Kick in the Seat of the Pants, is about being creative. And this kicking the seat of the pants is about how we have four. It's Roger Vanuck's theory of us having four kinds of things to go through when we are being creative. Oh, let me very quickly. I'm about to run out of power, so I need to very, very quickly plug myself in. Come on, race against time. Do. Yes, plugged in. So apparently my computer lasts 1 hour, about 1 hour 40 minutes if I'm streaming. Anyway, so you've got the explorer who's exploring all the other ideas. You've got the I can't remember what the fourth one is, but it's almost a collection of short essays, and you probably won't want to read it from front to cover the first time you get the book. It's one of those where you can easily dip in, dip out, and read a page here, read a page there, and it just inspires you. Joanne has a new microphone, that's good, but some stress learning to use it. Oh. So is it what's different about this microphone? Is it not just a normal directional mic with a I'm trying to you know what? Why? Yeah, because this is my fear about technology, that you start to get technology and then you don't know quite how to use it. And I really appreciate that I have this laptop with this inbuilt microphone, with this inbuilt camera, and I have this amazing phone with all these things. And so I am able to stream with these. And yes, I could get better camera or whatever, but then having to learn to use them. Joanne had a huge raid while learning the microphone. I mean, congratulations, and hopefully some of those people stuck around and enjoyed you, and hopefully you were able to explain that you were just learning to use the microphone. But I hope that you are able to use it, because I know you play music quite a bit, so I hope you are able to improve like the way that people hear you and have lots of fun with it. And I hope that facilitates good times, because yeah, technology always should have a purpose. Do you know what I mean? We can't just be, okay, I'm wanting to get a camera because it should be, I'm wanting to get a camera because I'm going to shoot myself playing games, or I'm going to take landscape photos, or I'm going to do this, and I want to get this new lens because I'm going to be taking shots in low light of bands, so I'm going to get the 50mm 1.4 aperture lens. Boom! I'm excited about this. Yes, it's a low field of depth, but I'm going to do a quick manual zoom into that singer's face, and then it's like, should be in a way the same with board games. I think that even though I have bought a few things, and I feel like it has to be, why am I getting this? Why am I getting this board game? Am I getting this board game because I am just curious about all the board games that exist and I want to check out this board game and educate myself about board games? Because if so, maybe that's okay. I mean, certainly in my situation, I kind of consider a lot of these things like a business expense, really. I mean, yes, at a certain point, I'm playing Corridor because I enjoy it, but it's also the fact that it's important. I've not played it yet, but I feel it's important for me as a board game designer who might one day work on narrative things to play detective. And apparently all the raiders saw Emerald and everyone, but it's a streamer whose music I use and it wasn't being played. The mic wasn't picking it up at first. Oh, that's unfortunate. Later figured out how to add the music from desktop, but it was an embarrassing moment. Oh, I'm sure it'll all be good. And I think I saw your Instagram post. Yeah, because I follow you and I see all your posts, and I saw you mention something about that on Instagram. But yeah, I'm sure they would have understood. If anyone else has anything that you want to talk about, then feel free to talk about your things for a couple more minutes before I finish up. If you want to check me out, I am stuffbybiz.com, stuffbybiz.bigcards.com, where you can buy print and play copies of stuff. Twitter.com/stuffbybiz if you're on Twitter, or you're on Instagram, it's also Stuff by Bez. Twitch is Stuff by Bez. YouTube is Stuff by Bez, where it's all the old episodes, and stuffbybez.com/Discord. And yeah, join the Discord for chats for sharing stuff or for listening or whatever. Once more, thank you, everyone. Feel free to share if you want to. If you want to find out what I'm streaming, hopefully my Google Calendar will successfully link up. If it doesn't, I might get Chris to help me on Wednesday. But tomorrow is going to be a meeting of publishers with Ellie Dix, Peter Blenkarn, and Shem Phillips, all talking about what publishing means and why publish. Why publish board games? It's going to be a quick discussion, a quick focus discussion. On Tuesday will be a rambly discussion with me, with James Hammy Hamilton. We will be meeting James Hammy Hamilton, who has been involved in wargaming and publishing parts of the Tree Frog, Martin Wallace thing, in doing lots of retail. Tuesday evening, I'm hoping to get some pictures drawn up for Wee Whimsical Creatures. We'll see how that goes. We'll play something on Tuesday anyway. If that doesn't work out, it will be a fact and a half. Wednesday, I'll be continuing to work with Rita and Tiz on Dinosaurs Love Spicy Pies, which is a roll and write, and we will be playtesting that at least once. You can play along if you want. If you don't want to, then you don't have to. But it will be a lot of pondering, a lot of discussing what makes this game good or not. On Thursday, I will be chatting with Dina about some marketing-related thing, and we've decided Friday, Friendly Friday forums in future are going to be outside. Next Friday in the garden. Friday the 7th, maybe Houses of Parliament. Friday the 14th, I don't know. Pick a location, maybe London Bridge. Maybe that's not... Yeah, maybe London Bridge isn't appropriate. Maybe that's a bit too busy. Maybe I'll cycle round until I find somewhere nice. There's a park somewhere up north, I think. Maybe I'll go to the middle of a park. And here on the 1st of May, we'll be discussing self-publishing games with Jess, Nikita, Janice, and Andy, some people who've designed and published their own games and done a lot of that, and I just want to chat with these people more often. And I will be reviewing other people's ideas on next Sunday on the 2nd. And so, yeah, that is my future streams. So lots of love right back at you. And it sometimes, even if we understand something intellectually, it can be very difficult emotionally. So even if we understand that things are, things like concern, worry, anxiety, these are often not rooted in logic. They are rooted in sometimes irrational fears, and that's the way that it is. Yeah, and so oh yeah, if this has been fun, if you have enjoyed the stream, if you've watched this far, then please, if any of the future streams sounds like a good time and you can think of someone who would be interested in them, maybe your friend who likes to be out in the garden. I know that it's a bad time for American people, but if you can think of someone who might get some value out of the stream, then please let them know about it. And yeah, that is the end. Oh, And thank you for being here, Games Cupboard. It's all good. And apparently, Ben and Kelly Lee, who are the two people who make up the Games Cupboard, it's like now I've got this image in my head of two people kind of actually forming a cupboard, like a leg. Like if you had, sorry, am I decent? Yeah. So if you had like a leg, and then like an arm is like the other shelf, and then your head and like you're using your limbs to make different shelves, but then one person's on one knee, so like the other leg is out, and then the other arm's like out at a slightly different height. So yeah, I don't think that would be a good cupboard because your arm doesn't have enough surface area to be a good shelf. You know, having pondered it, I don't think you should literally be a game cupboard. Even though like it's a fine name for your channel, I don't think you should literally. And then, you know, you'd be stuck in that position. Like if you wanted to put games on your limbs, then you'd have to have someone else to feed you. And how would you actually be playing all the games? Yeah, this is. I don't think this is going to lead to a good life. So yeah, don't do it. But yeah, lots of love, Ben and Kelly Lee, two lovely people. Actually, let me give them a shout out. Shout out to the Game Cupboard. If you're on Twitch, then definitely check out the Game Cupboard. If you're not on Twitch, then look up the Game Cupboard on all the other places because they are around. And lovely people. Aw. And Joanne says, yes, I will invite my friend on Friday. And my friend often likes coming along with me to the streams I go to. Plus, if you are my friend, you will automatically be his friend. Oh, wow. I really like that sentiment, but transitive friendship isn't always true or isn't always the best thing. Because sometimes I can have two friends who are both lovely people, but they don't get on with each other. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it's maybe because the interests aren't really crossed over, because I've got some friends who maybe aren't really. I've got some friends who maybe aren't really into board games. Maybe they would play like a really light game, but that's it. I've also got some friends who are really into heavy games, but like it's not just about, you know, what you're into, it's also about like the way your personality meshes. And for sure, I've got there's a the fallacies of there was a thing 5 social. I think this might have, I can't remember if this has any swearing in it. I don't think it has any swearing or any trigger warnings that I need to give. So I am going to give a link to an article that I think is very interesting that I would recommend people read, which is plausiblydeniable.com/5geek social fallacies, which, yeah, ponder these. Like, do you agree with the author on them? Maybe that can be a point of discussion on Friday. Maybe that can be something that we chat about on Friday. And so, yeah, maybe Fridays could even be like have a wee book group section. That would be fun. Like, or a read. It's not like a book group. It's more like an article reading group. It's like, hey, we've recommended this article, and then what do you think of it, or something like that. And yeah, I don't know if that's asking too much of people though, because that's like giving you homework. That's probably not fun. But anyway, lots of love. Yep. just all the love. And yeah, for sure, that is pretty much the end. I am going to very quickly go onto Twitch and see who else is streaming. There is Judd, wristwatch, Harley Hutchinson, Lizzie Monroe, not not checked out Harley Hutchinson in a while. Harley does some lovely music. Piano Man Tom, sight reading video game music. Let's go with Harley because Harley's doing some sort of long celebration for Donut King TV. Ooh, I do not know that person. I will check them out. I don't like raiding people that I don't know, but Donut King TV, what's that all about? And I will check them out. And oh, there seems to be some sorts of battles and things flying around the place. Wow, that looks amazing. He cooks live from a bakery. Oh wow, this is amazing. Okay, you know what? I'm going to I'm going to raid this person, even though it feels a wee bit weird. Does anyone else get that when you're kind of raiding and then it's like, whoa, they've got 185 followers, people watching, and it's like, hey, you're raiding with 5 people. But yeah, I guess that's the thing. Like, it's not about just automatically going to the person with the fuse. It's like, who do we find most exciting today? And let's go and maybe check it out together. So yeah, let's do that. If you are happy to do so, please copy paste some or all of this message, and I will. Yeah, it feels weird raiding unknowns, but I am going to make an exception, partially because I didn't have a strong opinion, and partially because it's you. Well, both of those things had to be true. Anyway, that is me. That is the end of the show. So there is only one thing left to do, as always, and that is to sing bye bye, bye bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. I'm glad that you know what I meant. Bye bye, bye bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye, Joanne. Bye bye, Flo. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye, Games Cupboard. Bye bye, Ben and Kelly Lee. I hope you have a wonderful day and everything. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Oh, I never really asked what you were up to after this. What? I'm going to be enjoying the garden and cycling. Hope you have a lovely day. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye. Yeah. Oh. Bye bye. That's the end.